Hey guys, I'm Alan York, host of the podcast Talk Your Way Through. I created this podcast in order to open up a safe space for men to really be able to unpack the struggles when talking about their mental health, from stress and relationships to identity and purpose. Each conversation is going to open up the floor for open dialogue, vulnerability, and personal growth. The objective of these conversations is to get men more comfortable with talking about their problems as opposed to bottling them up. Please join us for the conversation.
Nobody ever told us it's okay not to be okay.
Just to talk to somebody who's on a total different level than me. Talk to somebody who's been through what I'm going through.
How does she know what to pray for you? Tell him press harder because you're going to be okay.
Trust the process. It's not designed for a 5-year-old to know multiplication.
Don't allow what you hear to saturate inside of you.
Life is short. Do it now because you do not want to say, I shoulda,
Woulda,
coulda, woulda. I'm telling you, man.
Today's topic is the silence we carry and the stigma behind opening up to vulnerability. Joining us today, we have entrepreneur, community leader, and mentor, Christopher Lewis. Also, we have businessman, mental health specialist, as well as Bishop, Michael Douglas. Good to have y'all on, man. How y'all doing?
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for having me, Doc. I'm just excited to be here.
The reason why I really wanted to have these conversations with you guys is to make, like I said, to make men more comfortable with opening up about how they feel and what they're feeling and what they're dealing with on the inside. Personally, my journey didn't start on therapy. My journey started with just conversations with my friends and being able to understand how hard it was for me to open up to them about what I was going through. So I felt like if it was hard for me to do it, then it must be other men out there like me who going through the same thing, and it's hard for them to open up. And I know that can be detrimental, especially for us as adults, when we're going through things and we don't know how to talk about it and we don't know how to work our way through those situations healthily. And a lot of times, we see a lot of suicide, we see a lot of depression, when we see a lot of people overreacting to things that, if they just took a step back and got the help that they needed or was more honest about the help that they needed, that those situations and those outcomes wouldn't come to those things. So this is my baby, this is my podcast. It's something that I'm starting in order to get out there so that men can release the stigma of talking about what weighs them down. So I'm glad you guys are joining me. Like I said again, I know both of you gentlemen are very and extremely busy, very important men, and so I thank you guys again. So to start it off, when you hear the phrase "the silence we carry," what does that mean to you guys?
I think Bishop go first.
Nobody ever gives you a manual on how to be a man. You have to figure it out through trials, circumstances, watching other people. But there's not a book that teaches you not only how to be a man, what to do in certain situations, and how you're going to respond. So there is no manual. So we wind up as a society, as an African American society, we wind up holding things inside because nobody ever told us it's okay not to be okay. And I know it seems like a cliche and an oversimplification, but honestly, it's really okay to say, I'm not okay right now. But we've always been taught that if you're a man, or we've always been told, we hadn't been taught, we've always been told that if you're a man, you press it all down, you swallow it. That's what men do. Well, pressure busts pipes.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you have to have that outlet that you can release to and let some of that pressure go. Now, the silence that we carry, man, you'll be surprised how many brothers are out there that are struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and they just take all that and they just bottle it inside.
Yes, sir.
They don't have anywhere to let it go. There's no safe space.
And I would like to piggyback off what Bishop said. I strongly believe that as a young African American, that the hill is a little steeper for us to climb than others.
Yes, sir.
Like he said, I was taught by my father. Oftentimes, my father would see me crying, and his exact words would be, "Boy, you a man.
Suck it up.
Yeah,
Suck it up and get yourself together."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And over a period of time, that's what I thought. But at the end of the day, every single human being has feelings.
Yeah.
You can try to play hard, you can try to play tough, but every human being has feelings. And in the line of work that I'm in as a community leader, as an entrepreneur, it gets rough sometimes.
Yes.
And it was just like I was telling a friend of mine in Dorian 2 days ago. One of my friends done something that I disagree with, and I called and told him. I'm usually the one that lift him up, but that particular day he had to lift me up, and I called and I said it hurted me to see my friend do what he did. But at the end of the day, I have to remember that that life is hard, but if you stay focused, if you trust and believe in God, and you give it 100%, those hills can still be climbed.
And that's something I'm learning too, especially when you said the crying part. I'm overly emotional. That's one of my biggest things, you know.
And I believe that I strongly believe that that's okay.
Yes, sir.
My fiance texted me yesterday morning. She texted me a very nice message, and she'll tell you I'm the man. I'm the one in the family that keep us together. But when she texted me that message and told me how much she loved me and how much I meant to her, and she gonna stick with me despite of what we've been through, I started bawling.
Yeah.
Because you know, you don't hear it often.
Yeah, not for
you know,
real.
we are the providers. We're the alpha male. So for you to hear that, it just makes you feel special.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And it's moments like that that's needed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's very important.
Yeah. The crying, like I said, I'm overly emotional. And, man, I find myself crying over anything, and just to have my friends that'll say, "Man, it's okay. You know, it's okay to shed tears."
Yeah.
They'll tell me all the time they'll rather me cry in front of them than to cry in front of anybody else, because they know my tears mean something to them. And other people, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing. When I cry, I feel like I don't want nobody else to see me cry, because I feel like you take it the wrong way. Because I'm supposed to be big, and you see me crying, then I feel like you think I ain't what I am.
But at the end of the day, you are a human being.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, you have feelings.
Yes, sir.
And it's okay. Like Bishop said, you got to let it out, because just like he said, pressure busts a pipe, and you'll wind up finding yourself exploding. You'll wind up finding yourself doing things and saying things that you normally wouldn't do.
Yes,
so let it out and find you a mentor, find you someone to talk to, and let those emotions out.
And I do need to find me a mentor. I'm in it. So if any one of you guys know somebody who got the time to take out the mentor a young boy like me, I really appreciate that, man. Was there ever a time in any one of you guys' life where you felt like being silent about what you're going through would benefit you? And what was it and what made you feel like you couldn't speak up?
Like Chris said, we've been programmed to be the alpha male, to be the provider, you know, priest, prophet, provider. So in that aspect, we feel like, you know, we have to carry it. We got to bottle it.
Yes.
We have to keep it inside. But like I said earlier, you know, pressure will bust a pipe. I don't care how much pressure you put on it. At some point, it has to have an escape. So to me, it's never ever good, or it's never a good thing to just hold something inside. I remember when my mom died, I was her pastor. I was her only son. That was my first best friend. And my sisters said, now, mind you, being a pastor, one of the things we do is funerals.
Yes, sir.
And so the same thing that we tell other people, we have to tell ourselves. Yep. But what do you do when it's your mom? You tell yourself the same thing you tell everybody else. So they were like, we don't want you to preach the funeral. But preaching the funeral would have been a release for me, because that's what I do. as a pastor.
Yes, sir.
So they were like, we don't want to put that kind of pressure on you. Well, I've been in ministry for 35 years. There is no pressure. This is my way of saying goodbye to my mom. And so I didn't voice that. And I still carry that to this day, that I didn't tell them, no, we're not gonna do that this way. We're not gonna get somebody else to say what I can say about my mother and my member. So I held it inside, and I still live with that regret every day. But they put me up to do words of comfort.
Yes.
And so I had a little release, but not like it would have been to say the final goodbye. They were thinking that because we had such a close relationship, she used to call me her only begotten son. So I said all that to say this. I carried all of that, man, and my job is an hour and 45 minutes one way. There were so many times that because I did not verbalize how I felt and what I was going through and the turmoil that was tearing me apart on the inside, that I want to just take that little convertible and run that thing right on up through the woods at 100 miles an hour.
Yes, sir.
But I realized that was not the answer. So there was a lady that was in the building that I was in that was an LPC, and she saw that I was in distress, and every day she'd come by and counsel me without telling me she's counseling me.
Yes.
You got to surround yourself with the right people. It's never okay to just be silent about how you feel. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You have this one life that God gave you to live. And so you have to live it to the best of your ability. And if somebody doesn't understand your plight or your emotions, then that's not your village.
Yes, sir.
Get around, like you said earlier, you have a village of brothers that you guys talk every morning. My son happens to be one of the guys that's in your village.
Yes, sir.
And you guys talk every morning. That's a release for you guys. And that's a safe space. So in my mind, it's never good, man, to hold it in, especially if it's something that's really close to your heart.
Yeah. And to piggyback off what you were saying, one of the things that I kept silent for the most part was, it's a funny story. So you speak of the village that I have, is me, Mark Nadorian, and Michael Douglas Jr. So Mark grandma, it's a funny sequence of events, and it's really not funny, but it's funny if you get it. So my grandma passed first, Dodie's grandma passed, and then Mark grandma passed. And the way we joke about it is so funny. Like we take dark humor to the next level. And so my grandma had passed the next time. And because of who I am and my family, I did not want to tell them that my grandma passed, because I knew the jokes that I gave them was coming back around to you. Back my way. Yeah. And man, when I say I held that for so long, not only from them, but I think it caused me not to grieve my grandma's passing as the way I should. Also because of who I am in my family. Like, I'm my dad's only son, and my dad was my grandma's oldest son, and he was her caretaker up until the end. And I knew it was weighing on him as much as it was, and I knew he depended on me. And I felt like me sharing my emotions about how I felt at the time was best for me to keep quiet, as opposed to me breaking down, knowing that I was just as close to my grandma as he was. I was my grandma's favorite grandchild. So you say. So she say. She used to always tell me I was her favorite grandchild and stuff like that. And me and my grandma had a real strong relationship. She was one of the best cooks I ever known, and she inspired me to get in the kitchen and start cooking. And I take a lot of my recipes from her. And we was closer than I gave myself credit for at the time. I tried to make myself feel a little distant to the situation, because I didn't want to talk about it, nor did I want what I was going through to add on extra pressure to my dad, because it was real hard for him to get through that time, and it still is. She died over 5 years ago, and it's still it's still something that he's dealing with, and it's something that I yet won't allow myself to really talk to him about on how it made me feel, because I know that he's not working through that right now, and he hasn't gotten over it. So that's one of the things I do say that I've kept silent, and I know it hurt to have for me not to be able to cry as much as I feel like I know I wanted to at that funeral, or for me to not get up and speak because I knew I would break down. I felt like I robbed myself of a time to really send her off the way I wanted to send her off.
Yeah.
So I kind of find myself going to a gravesite, you know what I'm saying, just breaking down. Now that I'm going through what I'm going through, that's one of my healthy places, is going to her gravesite and kind of talking to her and releasing what I should have released at the time when I felt like it was.
I think, man, if you would have trusted your dad and your relationship with your dad to have that safe space, because you lost your grandmother, he lost his mama.
Yes, sir.
It's no comparison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He lost his mom. You lost your grandmother. You lost a friend. He lost his mom.
Yes, sir.
So if you would have gone and trusted the relationship with your dad and say, Dad, this is how this is making me feel. And you guys could have had that moment together. And it would have been a release, man, even for him. Michael and I talked about how I felt a little bit when my mom died. You know, Mike, that was her boy. He could do no wrong.
Yes.
But we did not explore it as in depth as we should have. So I think that, man, you should have, given and you still have time.
Yes, sir.
To have that conversation with your dad. He needs it, and you need it.
And that's I probably take that advice and go talk to him. I probably got to take him out. My dad, he one of them. He a hard body. You ain't finna catch him crying, and he ain't finna let you set him up to cry.
Old school.
That's just him. So, how has the silence, either yours or somebody else's, affected you? Like, how has the silence that somebody else, like something that you wish somebody else would have told you that they kept, or something you wish you would have told somebody else that you kept, affected you?
I'm gonna let Chris answer that.
Well,
Give me that question again, please.
how has the silence, yours or someone else's, affected the relationship of you overall, or y'all relationship overall? So, for instance, like somebody keeping something from you that you felt like if you would have told me the truth, we could have got through it a little bit more. But now that I found out, something that I withheld from somebody that I felt like if I would have spoke up on it, like for me, my situation with my wife, I don't know if I want to currently speak on what we're going through right now, but some situations where I feel like had I spoken up on the level of comfortability that I needed from her, or the openness that I needed from her, there's certain situations or the certain things that we're going through right now we wouldn't be going through. As far as like, my dad taught me to handle my responsibility as a man, so I'm big on paying bills. I'm big on being a provider in my household. But I also have came across times in my life where I was financially struggling, and even in those times, I felt like not telling her what I was going through, or not telling her that I needed help, I felt like that caused a lot of arguments and turmoil, because she's thinking that life is business as usual. And in my mind, I'm struggling trying to piece together how we gonna pay this bill, how I'm gonna take her out, how I'm gonna show her that things are still afloat. And I'm keeping it within myself, as well as keeping in, that I'm dealing with things mentally and stuff like that, and not being able to share and confide with her. And I feel like that silence kind of affected our relationship overall.
I strongly believe that when you in a relationship, or you and someone are friends, I believe that you are entitled to owing that person explanation to certain things. For example, me and my friend Nadorian, there's been several times where people have came to him and spoke negative about me.
Yes, sir.
And he didn't tell me. Well, later on, it got out that he knew, and it hurt my feelings.
It causes strain on the relationship too.
Correct. Because my expectations are, when we friends, We friends. We don't hold things back. We discuss certain things with one another, and again, just my opinion is small conversations helps a whole lot versus keeping secrets and trying to play tough and things of that nature. You and your wife, it's y'all. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to struggle. That's why it's y'all are one now. Baby, I'm a little low on cash this week. I need you to cover it.
Man, that's hard to do. Man.
I understand.
But here's the thing, though, man. How's that hard to do when you said we're going to be one? Mm-hmm. So it's not fair to her that if you're in a financial struggle or in an emotional struggle, that you don't share it with her. How does she know what to pray for you?
And I always remember this. I do not care what kind of shape you're in, whether it's physically, spiritually, financially. Every single person needs help at some point.
At some point.
You can be the richest man in the world. You can be. Think about it. Elon Musk would not be where he is today if it was not for somebody helping him.
Yes.
Still to this day, do you think he's the one building those Teslas?
No, I know he got an assembly line.
You have to have a team.
You have to, and there's no I in team. It's you and your wife.
Yeah, and that's something, like I said, that's something I'm learning right now. I'm learning to open up about it more. We are talking more, and something that Bishop said. How did you know? How would she know how to pray?
Yeah.
Or what would she know to pray?
And I guarantee you're going to feel a whole lot better. It's like a brick let off your shoulder.
Yeah.
I remember, I never forget. I used to lie to Amanda, which is my fiance. I used to lie to her because I didn't want to see her hurt.
Yes.
She would just ask me something simple. Hey, baby, where you finna go? I'm just finna run to mama's house. But the whole time I'm headed to my friend's house. But I would lie to her because she, in her mind, she thinking that I'm going over there to cheat or going over there to do something that I shouldn't be doing. But after we sat down and had a real genuine conversation, I mean it's like a genuine, like, baby, look, I understand how you feel. And I caused it, but this is not this
ain't that.
And guess what? It was just like, and now it just feel better. A simple conversation, it's so much better on your mental. Because sometimes we take stuff out of context.
Completely out of context.
And like I tell my wife all the time,
I'm an overthinker.
I don't care what it looked like. What is it?
What is it?
You may see me standing here talking to a lady. I understand what it may look like, but what is it? That's a food rep for the restaurant.
Yeah, and I'm big.
It could be anything.
I'm big on that too. I just feel like it's hard to have certain conversations. As far as like other conversations is like what I want or what we want from each other. I feel like those conversations are easy. I just feel like it's harder on my end when I have to admit that I'm falling short on it. And I think that's something that I'm still working on in therapy.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Life is short, man.
Yes, sir.
Life is short. Do it now, because you do not want to say, I shoulda,
woulda,
coulda, woulda. I'm telling you, man. And this is something, Bishop. I literally pray at night, and I ask God to help me with my pride, because when me and my wife, when we get into it, she will wait 5-10 minutes. She come back, hey, baby, it's over with. But me,
I'm up here right now.
It literally takes me like 3 to 4 days
to get over.
And it's hard for me to come in the house and be like, baby, but it's my. And I say, you know what? And when I'm driving in my truck by myself, I'm thinking like, don't do that, because you never know.
But then it's a reverse to it, because when I'm wrong, my pride won't let you be mad at me for too long. We got to talk
like my daddy said, in life, there's certain things that a man can do that a woman can't do.
Yes,
and there's certain things that a woman can do
that a man can't do.
That's just
life.
It's life. And it's been like that before time.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think it's very important that you have that conversation with your friend. You have that conversation with your wife. again, just 2 days ago with my good friend, when he did something that I didn't like, guess what I did? I didn't go sit around and talk about it. I picked the phone up and said,
we need to talk about this.
I don't like this.
Yes, sir.
This is how that made me feel.
I don't like this. And I strongly believe that if that relationship goes south for good at that point, y'all never was friends.
We weren't friends to begin with.
Because we're men. We should be able to disagree.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We find it difficult to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And what I mean by that is you have your opinion. I have my opinion. And they may not line up, but it doesn't mean that you're wrong and I'm right, or I'm right and you're wrong. We just see it differently. And that's okay. You know, if you're real friends, and going back to the friend aspect, before you even married her, she should have been your friend.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
You know, she should have been your friend, your confidant. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times we build physical relationships instead of spiritual and emotional relationships with people. And so if you have a good spiritual relationship with her, that means if you pray for her, she prays for you. If you can trust her to pray for you, if she can trust you to pray for her, you know, how do you ask God for something that a person you've never seen, and you trust him to give it to you, but you can't trust this person that you committed to be with for the rest of your life?
No. I can argue.
But in my opinion is when you lay your eyes on a lady, immediately she falls in a category. Now, that category could be, you know what? I can say she can be my wife. She can be just my friend. She can be somebody I talk to. She can be just a one night stand. She falls in a category.
Yes, sir. And she feeling the
You
way
do too.
She feeling
Yeah,
the way.
Believe it or not.
Oh yeah, because ladies, I mean, ladies look at you and say, "Ooh, you know the rest." And some,
I usually get more nose.
That's it.
I get way more nose.
It's just part of it.
You got to get through all them no's to
Yes,
get
sir.
to a yeah.
What does it actually look like when a man takes the first step to open up? What does starting the conversation actually mean?
I strongly believe the first step to opening up is admitting.
Yes, sir. Admitting when you hurt.
Admitting.
That's one of the things that kind of got me on the couch of a therapist. A lot of the stuff that's been going on in my life recently, I just came home and my wife ain't never really seen me cry, but she heard me crying in the bathroom, and when she came in, Docky came out.
Yeah.
I'm talking about waterfall.
And it was like Bishop said,
big old
because,
baby in the
and the
bathroom.
reason being because that pressure, it finally, but you
finally came out.
You trying to act like you Superman. That stuff is on TV.
Yeah.
You are a human being.
A human being.
You have feelings. You can try to be as tough as you want, but there's gonna come a time where what you just described.
Yeah. You had a little old kink that's in your armor.
It's going down. But the first step is admitting.
Yeah.
Just admitting that you're not okay.
Yes, sir.
Just come home, baby. I'm not okay.
Yes, sir.
And it starts with a conversation with yourself. You got to have, and you know what's crazy to me, Chris, is a lot of times brothers will believe the lie that they telling other people about themselves.
Yep.
No doubt. They
Instead
get it on the head.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling everybody, I'm good. I'm okay,
I'm
man.
good.
And you really start believing.
You
Yes, sir.
start believing you good.
But the thing about it, though, Bishop, they know deep down inside in their heart,
Yeah,
They're
you
not
ain't
good.
good.
you're not good.
But I made such a good point of making you believe I'm good that I believe I'm good. I sold it
Until
so good.
you get by yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
then now that very thing that you put over in a corner and didn't deal with, it's still there waving at you. Hey, here I am. But I ain't going nowhere.
Another thing, though, York, is in life, you have to surround yourself with people who have morals, who have goals, who are spiritually connected with God, people who wants better out of life. You have to surround yourself with those type of people.
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't, you wind up stuck. you'll wind up always going backwards and etc. And that was me. I had to start surrounding myself with people like Alvin Sharp, people like Eddie Clark. Yes. I had to start talking to people periodically like Bishop, where I just pick up the phone. We don't talk every day, but just pick up the phone. What's going on, Bishop? How everything going? And just to talk to somebody who's on a total different level than me. Yes. Talk to somebody who's been through what I'm going through. So my advice is to people when it comes to mental health, surround yourself with those type of people.
Yes, sir.
And those type of people will help you along the way. Yeah. Those type of people will motivate you. Those type of people want to see you do better. So therefore, you would not experience jealousy and envy and hate. I've never seen nobody that's doing better than you.
Yeah, that's hating on you.
Yes, sir. So how does one go about searching for the right mentor for himself? Like, is it do you pick somebody who's in a position where you want to be at, or do you pick somebody who necessarily has experienced all the things that you experienced?
What I did was I sat down and I identified what I wanted in life. Once I sat down and identified what I wanted in life, then I started searching for someone who was on that same level.
Yes, sir.
I joined Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. When I joined Calvary Missionary Baptist Church, that's when I became good friends with Alvin Sharp.
Yes, sir.
Alvin Sharp, he was able to relate to what I had been going through. I love the law. That's how I was able to connect with Eddie Clark. So to answer your question, I strongly believe that you sit down and search yourself and find out exactly what you want in life.
Yes, sir.
Then I think you go from there. Because I believe that true mentors like myself and like Bishop, I just don't see Bishop or myself turning down someone who really want better out of life and they're not on the right track.
Yes.
And then you got to surround yourself around people that stretch you too. If you're the smartest person in your circle, then it seems like an oversimplification. But if you are the smartest person in your circle, you in trouble. You in a lot of trouble.
So you said like,
you in trouble. You in trouble.
You in trouble.
So
if you know what I'm saying, you need somebody in your circle that when you look at them and they're achieving at a high level,
yes, sir,
it makes you want to achieve at a high level.
Yeah. Think about it, York. When y'all having y'all debates on the phone,
yes,
who do y'all call? Y'all, but it's okay, because guess what? When I run into this and that and nothing, guess what I do?
There you go.
I call.
Pick up the phone and call somebody.
Yeah, when I decided that I wanted to run for public office, again, me and Bishop do not talk every day. We do not hang out every day.
Yes.
I'm able to sit in rooms with senators, governors, judges, doctors, lawyers, all of that. But when I made up my mind, guess what? I went and sat down and talked to one person.
Bishop.
That was Bishop.
I didn't even know y'all was that close.
But let me tell you why. In my opinion, I watched Bishop at Piney Grove Missionary Baptist Church back in the days. Neighborhood I grew up in. I watched Bishop go through certain things in life. Just because you have the title of a senator, or just because you have the title of a judge, yeah, you went to school, you went to college, and you graduated, you won the election, you're a judge. I need someone who's going to be raw with me. Yes. I need someone who's going to tell me the truth. I need someone who has been through what I've been through. And I knew without a shadow of a doubt, guess what? He was going to be raw. He was going to give me the constructive criticism that I need. So it's okay to be the smartest person in your circle, but
yes,
widen it just a little bit.
Widen it
just in case they see this, I'm nowhere near the smartest in my circle.
Oh no,
we each all have.
All y'all are very
great capacities, man. I mean, and I really admire, and I really wish more people had a circle like I did, because like I said, I tell them every day, man, we are blessed to have each other. Not only because of the friendship that we have, but the how we hold each other accountable. Like I said, there was situations where recently I could have made decisions where if it was one decision I made without telling them and it went horrible, and it was other decisions that I talked to them about, and we communicated about it, and they gave me what they would have did, and
let me give you one
work out for me.
One little piece of advice I want to give you that I had to learn: do not always call that one person or that group who is going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yes, sir.
That can cause a problem. Again, I knew bitch was gonna shoot. He was gonna shoot me.
I don't know if that's good or bad, man.
No, yeah, but you need that for your mental state. You need that. Somebody who's gonna bitch is gonna pick up the phone, Chris. And you know you was wrong.
Yeah.
You may not want to hear that.
They love you through it.
But at the end of the day, when you dissect it and when you just slow down and think about it, guess what? It's the truth.
Yeah, it is the truth. And like I say, it's a big difference because when the people who love you do it, they do it with a grace that you can't deny it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when my friends correct me on something, like even when I made the decision on my own without communicating to them, when I was honest with them and told them what happened, man, they didn't. Oh, you was right for that. We support you. No, we support you, but you was wrong.
You was wrong.
We support you,
dead
but
wrong on that.
You lost your character. You lost sight of who you was when you did that. And there's some things, man. Like I said, I cherish with them, and I hope they never change with us. And especially Dodie, you mentioned the Dorian all the time. The Dorian is gonna tell you how you think, regardless of what it is. He gonna let you know exactly if you doing something that ain't you, that's outside of your norm. He gonna hold you to it. And I feel like I said, I really wish more people had the friendships that me and my friends have. But last question, man, I'm gonna let y'all get up out of here. If you could speak to your younger self or to another man who feels like he can't talk, what would you tell him?
Wow. If I could speak to my younger self, I'd have to give you the backstory in 2 minutes because I gotta go.
Yes.
I was always told that because I came from a single parent household and we grew up in the projects, and I wasn't the smartest person in the world. I think that brilliance is developed through struggle. You'll get that when you get way down the line. Brilliance is developed through struggle. You learn what to do and what not to do. But if I could talk to my younger self, I'd tell him press harder because you're going to be okay.
Yes.
Don't allow what you hear to saturate inside of you. You know, I I remember I was in Miss Tennant's class. I was hell.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was hell. She tried to teach the CAD class and I'm disrupting it. And she told me, you're not going to be nothing. You ain't going to be nothing. And she said, if you don't get yourself together and you don't get serious about your education, you're going to be just like them boys up under that tree in the projects. And that kind of sunk with me, you know what I'm saying? And every time I wanted to give up, I could hear Ola Mae Tennant in my ear saying, you know, if you don't get serious about educating yourself, if you don't get serious about life in general, you'll wind up a statistic. And so when I made my first $1 million, I went to her and I told her, I said, Miss Tennant, remember that time you told me I wasn't going to be nothing? She said, yeah, I remember. She said, but the reason I told you that was because I saw something in you, but you were heading in the wrong direction. So I had to snatch you back and put you on the right track. So I would say to my younger self, you're going to be okay, man. Just press harder. Trust God more. Take more chances. You're going to be okay.
My younger self in my 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 age, I would tell myself that trust the process. It's not designed for a 5-year-old to know multiplication. Just trust the process and listen. Yeah. In my teenage years, I would say that, again, you have to surround yourself with people who are going places in life, people who have goals, people who are actually connected to Christ.
Yes.
What I would tell myself today is, number one, you got to put God first.
Yeah.
Number two, despite of how people treat you, despite of what people say about you or think about you, you still treat each and every person in a way that's pleasing to God. And number three, always give it 100%. If you do those three things there, I do not care if you're mowing yards, I don't care if you're writing books, I don't care if you're cleaning ditches. If you do those three things there, you will be successful. I know we often hear about Job in the Bible. I know we hear about Daniel. I know we hear about the Hebrew boys, but you looking right now, I'm telling you, I come from zero, nothing, locked up in the second biggest penitentiary in the state of Louisiana, was a mama's boy. Made one simple mistake. I haven't been in jail no 8, 9, 10 times. One simple mistake. Just with the wrong people at the wrong time. And that's where I ended up at. You got to put God first. You got to treat people in a way that's pleasing God, and you got to give it 100%. If you do those things in life, I don't care what nobody tell you, I'm a living witness. You'll be successful.
I think the thing I would tell myself is it's okay to be yourself. And it's okay to follow what you got and follow your heart and not to follow the crowd. Know what God has for you and follow that. I feel like it took me a while to realize that. It took me a while to figure out what my path was and to throw myself behind it and throw myself fully behind it. But that's one of the things I would really, and it's okay to cry. Because a lot of times while I wanted to cry back in the day, I felt like holding it in turned me and morphed me into somebody that I felt like I thought I was. And then when you hold the mirror up to yourself when you need to, you realize you're not who you put yourself up to be. And that's one of the things I feel like I wish my younger self would have been more comfortable with. It's okay to be okay with who you see in the mirror, because that's not necessarily what everybody else sees. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I would tell myself. And I appreciate you guys for joining me.
Not a problem.
And I appreciate y'all for taking the time. Like I said, I know a lot of people are going to be touched by this interview, this conversation. And so is there anything that you guys got going that you want to tell the people about? I know, Bishop, you got your church.
9 o'clock every Sunday morning, 1101 Griffin Street, New Generations Church. I also want to say that December the 11th, Marvin Sapp will be in town.
Yes, sir.
Our church is one of the sponsors for that event. I would like for everybody to come out, get a ticket, patronize it. Christmas with Marvin Sapp.
I would like to invite people to come to my establishment, Coney Island Connection, 2635 North 7th Street, where we have the best chili cheese dogs and chili cheeseburgers in town. I guarantee you, you would not be disappointed. Come by and see us and let us cater to you, and just enjoy yourself.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's been another episode of Talk Your Way Through. Don't forget to join the WhatsApp community, where we will be encouraging and uplifting on a daily basis, as well as putting out updates regarding the show. Just click WhatsApp and search Talk Your Way Through.